In example 6 here, we need to find the exact roots, x-intercepts, and zeros by using the quadratic formula. Alright, so quadratic formula. X is equal to the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So in this case, the y will be the 0. That's what it means by finding the roots, x-intercepts, or zeros. And then this is the value of a, that's the coefficient of the x squared term, b is the coefficient of the x term, and then c is the negative 3. So if you prefer, you can write that off to the side. You don't have to do this, but it can kind of help sometimes. So the a is 6, the b is 2, and the c is negative 3. We're going to take all these values, plug them in here, and we're going to find the value of x that makes the left side 0. After all, the y here is going to be 0 when we're asked to find these. So let's see what we get. We're going to plug this in here. Negative 2 is for the b, 2 squared is 4, and then we've got 4 times 6 times negative 3. That's a and c, all over 2 times 6. So we'll simplify underneath the square root. That negative times the negative will be a positive. 24 times 3. I think that's 72. Yep, I think that works. And then let's see here. We've got 12 here in the denominator. So we'll simplify a little bit more. We've got 76 here, all over 12. We need to see if we can pull anything out of the 76 here. So I'm thinking about a perfect square factor of maybe 4. If you prefer, you can do the factor tree thing. So we know that 76 is an even number, so we've got 2 there. And that should be 38 on the other side. 2 times 38 is 76. We've got another 2 here, and then a 19. And when you're square rooting, you're looking for a pair of the same thing. So we've got x being negative 2 plus or minus 2 root 19. That's all over 12. And then the last little bit here, if we see that the negative 2, the 2, and then the 12 here have a common factor, then we are going to divide each one of those by the common factor, and that happens to be 2 here. So negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. We're not even going to write the 1 here, it's just going to be the square root of 19. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 12 here divided by 2 is 6. So this would be our final answer. If you took each one of these answers, it's actually 2 of them here, both the positive and negative square root of 19, and plug them into that equation on the top, the left would be 0. Let's try that with the next one here. So we've got x being the opposite, and I'll just I'll write my a's and everything out here for you too. So a and b and c. So a is 2, negative 6 for b, and then a 1 for c. Okay. So x is equal to the opposite of b, which is 6, plus or minus the square root of b squared, and that's going to be 36, minus 4 times a times c, which is 1. Alright, and then we've got 2a on the bottom, so that's going to be 2 times 2. 6 plus or minus the square root, if we simplify this a little bit, that's going to be 8. And then we've got 4 here. So we've got 36 minus 8, which is 28, all over 4. And I think we can rewrite the square root of 28 as being 2 root 7. 4 times 7 is 28. And if we see anything in common between the 6, 2, and the 4 here, well, we should divide by that common factor. So that's a 2 in common with all of them. So we're not even going to write the 1 here. We'll just write the square root of 7, and then 2 would go here on the bottom.